All right. Welcome back to the Financial Abundance Podcast. We have a special guest that motivates the world. His name is Stephen Loney. If you haven't checked out his website or his YouTube channel, you got to go if you want to be inspired. He inspires all types of men, women around the world, helping them to find balance and evolve as a person, folks. He's helping you to become better every day so that you can live a nice and prosperous life. With that said, let me bring on our special guest today. Man, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Michael, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for allowing me to be here on your podcast. And, man, look forward to having a great conversation, man.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So let's get it started. What has been something that has allowed you to impact the world? Like, what's one moment someone came and said, "Thank you. I watched your video and you changed my life"?
Well, man, it's been an honor. There's so many times I go out and people say, man, from different places, whether it was from a speech that I may have had, or if it was something they may have seen a video, they said, man, that was right on time. And here recently, my wife even been coming to me saying some of her people that come to her office is saying, I love what your husband has been saying on his videos. It's really been on point. So it's reassuring that what I'm saying is really impacting the lives of others. So it's an honor and a privilege to do so.
And we appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's step back a little bit. Tell us who you are, what you do, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm glad you asked, man. My name is Stephen Loney. I love how you put that Loney. But yeah, Stephen Loney, and pretty much I am. I'm a product of what I found myself doing. It wasn't something I felt that I was originally set out to, but I feel like that Moses experience, like when you just out and about being yourself and God taps you and it shares it with you that you have been called for something for this time. And so even for me, it happened back years ago because I grew up in a time where I didn't have the role model of a father, which I did have my father, but he wasn't the one who was put himself in a position to be a model after. And so actually how back in my 20s, I started connecting in certain areas in the community through different network marketing that I was a part of, in churches I was a part of. And I started seeing men being men and showing them how what it means to be a husband, what it means to be a leader in the community. And from seeing others, it kind of gravitated me to want to do more in that space. And so over time, I was in positions to be leaders in our church. So meaning like I was over men's ministry. I started mentoring. I started a lot of those things, started coaching. And over those years, I really found my space to make an impact in the lives of others. And over the years, so like I said, I started in church, but then I started doing stuff in the community more, been on boards. And over time, it really opened up doors for me to impact the lives of others. And so I started an organization called Brothers back in my 30s. So it's been a little time since, but we started, Brothers stood for brothers reaching out to help others, to help in different races and sexes. So we also during that time of when we were going through the recession and things like that, helping men to find employment and get and finding ways to bounce back and get unstuck in life. And so we started a lot of good opportunities there. But as we fast forward to where I'm at now, I've really stepped into the space of speaking. So I'm now a professional speaker as well as doing podcasting. Be Great Podcast is my podcast, as well as I have a channel where I just give inspirational word. And so through these years has really opened up doors of how we can be able to empower and inspire others to be great. So it's been a great journey.
Wow, that's a powerful message. Inspire others to be great. What is a message then that one of your wife's friends mentioned to you that kind of stuck like, wow, yes, I love the message that you had. What's one of those nuggets you dropped before people really liked?
I love using transparency. What I mean by that, sometimes in my messaging, I put real life situations that I may be in. So pretty much like some comedians do that. They like Kevin Hart, for instance. He doesn't pick at others as much as he actually put himself in that situation. So some of the messaging I do in some of my speeches, I put what I've been through and use those points, that situations that I've been to bring forth the points that I want to convey to people. So it's pretty much, showing that you can relate. I can relate to where you may have been. May not be the same situation that you face, but I can tell you I've been through a bankruptcy. I've been to a time where a home where my parents, primarily my father, who has substance abuse and mental health and things like that. And how did I overcome those situations? So using those scenarios help people to realize, hey, my situation may not be as bad as I think it is if I have the right perspective for how to move forward from it. So those are some of the things that I find a way to relate to people, and they appreciate that message because they can see themselves in it as well.
Wow, wow. Now, you mentioned something. You helped people during the recession, which I know had to been hard for people financially and emotionally. Can you
Mm.
touch on, let's talk about the emotional aspect. How were you able to help people when they were going through times of financial need?
Well, I can tell you from firsthand. Myself, I was going through a bankruptcy during that time. So even as that time, I was really stepping out doing men's ministry in not only in the church but in the community. I myself was dealing with it. So I was seeing several men who I was talking to. They'll say, "Man, I've lost my job. Times are getting tight, and what do I need to do?" So what I was doing, even though like I said, I went through a bankruptcy myself, I found not only how can I help me, but how can I find resources that can help others. So I built great partnerships with this employment office. I have a good friend. Her name is Christina, and she's actually she was at the time was the head person at the employment office. We created workshops. We then connected with them to do job fairs and various other things to help meet the need that those individuals were facing. But then not only that, we also connected opportunities where they can actually learn job skills. So we did things in the community where we served in different capacities to help build their resume. So we didn't just point them in the direction, but we actually walked beside individuals to help them get to their destination. So we just learned as we went. We talked to individuals and we kind of thought together, say, what does it look like to come with a solution that can help that individual? And so we learn in the trenches. That's basically how we came about.
Learn in the trenches. So let's talk about. I want to dig deeper on that part. What what advice would you give to somebody that was laid off, fired, unemployed? They're going through recession. What's one thing that you noticed that
Mhm.
really helped people get out of that situation?
I'm glad you asked that because I want to give you my story one time. Back in my 20s, I found myself, and I was in network marketing at the time. So I actually quit my job thinking, hey, I've arrived because I had some success at a point in time. And what I
Okay.
did, I ended up hitting a hard time. And so I ended up going to my uncle's house to borrow a couple of dollars just for some gas. And what he did was plant a seed. And that's the main thing. I want people to understand sometimes it's a seed and then it's harvest. Sometimes we take that seed and we think that's what we need to be spending on our harvest, but we need to take that seed and invest it. And so what I did, he gave me not the $10 or 15, whatever he was gonna give me for gas, he gave me a lawnmower, a raggedy lawnmower at that. Now I just want to let you know I wasn't one who cut grass because I grew up in the projects where we really didn't cut grass, but he planted a vision in me. He said, if you take this lawnmower and you go to find those neighbors and people who need their lawn cut, and guess what? You would then reap the harvest that you're looking for. And that's
Wow.
exactly what I did. I took that lawnmower and I went and cut some of the neighbors, young to single moms, who I just blessed them. I said, whatever you can give me, that's all well. I wasn't really putting $40, whatever. I said, whatever you can give me, that's well. And but guess what happened?
What?
They became
Okay.
the best word of advertisement for me. They went and told their mom and them, told others about what I did for them, and I had plenty work. But see, some of us want to rush to the finish line without actually going through those steps of how to be a blessing before I receive my blessing. And that's where I try to share with others. Hey, don't worry about your problems more than how you can help someone else through theirs. And when you take the eyes off of you and put the eyes on others, God will always take care of yours. Mm.
Man, that was fire. I felt you. I felt you. Woo, that story. That was you had so many
Mm.
lessons in that story. I mean, the fact of instead of
Yeah.
someone giving you the money, they gave you the tools and resources to make more money than what you even
Mm.
asked for. Woo, think about that.
Mhm.
Mm, Did you catch that? Listen,
Yes,
when he
yes.
gave you the lawnmower, did you after you cut the first and second grass, did you were you thankful that he didn't just give you the money, he gave you that lawnmower?
Exactly. Man, that remind me, I always say Jack and the Beanstalk. That's that Jack and the Beanstalk situation. But if you just take that and what it did, so now I didn't fast forward and let you know where I'm at now. I have a full-fledged lawn care business. But that was a seed that
Whoa.
was planted. So I went from a lawnmower to a push lawnmower to invest into a riding lawnmower to zero turns to weeds, blowers, and now I got a nice operation.
Oh, we gotta open that part.
Yeah.
Here's why we gotta open that up, right? Imagine, let's go back when you were living in the projects, right? And look where
Hmm.
you're at now, right?
Mm.
Look at the vision, your
Yeah.
goals and dreams that you had at that point in time to where you're at now. What would you tell, the 18-year-old
Hmm.
boy or girl that's in the project, living in low income, that's like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna survive? What message do you have for that person?
Well, I'm glad you said that because that's really a big thing that I connect myself with future leaders. That's what I pride myself on, and that doesn't mean you got to be young. You can be old, but you still are a future leader. Meaning that everyone has a different background, regardless if you're an A student or an F student. We all have something in us that we have been called to do, and something I heard from Bishop Jakes. What bothers you is what you have been called to help fix. So that's
Mm,
all a job, a business really is. It's a way to answer a problem because people pay for answers. They don't pay you for pointing out the problem. They pay you to answering that
yeah,
problem. And
they
so
do.
my thing is, I love to work with individuals who are eager to move forward. And so, yes, we can't change the fact what we did yesterday, but what we're willing to do today to not blame others, not to point the fingers at saying this person did that. Now, life is never going to be fair. But what you have to tell yourself is, what can I do to help make life better? How can I play my part into to making life better for not only for myself, for others? And if I can do that, then that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to work hard on being an answer to someone's problem. So when I do that, guess what? It's going to change not only their future, but it's going to change mine too. It's going to help move me in that direction of me finding my purpose, and I can live a life of fulfillment. Because none of us, even if we aiming for success, success is when I'm succeed. But when significance is when I'm able to take the eyes off of me and make a difference in the lives of others. And so that's the life that we all want to really live, is a life of significance. Mhm.
Wow, wow, wow. That was impactful, man. That was impactful. Uh, what if there's a, 18-year-old, 20-year-old who's looking to get into lawn care business? They want to open up their lawn care business. They want to be like you. They got a, couple $100. What advice would you give them to start and then to be able to scale?
Well, I would tell you, not only it's in lawn care business, it could be in content creation. It can be in whatever your ambition is. Some people may say, I want to start doing nails. I like to do hair. The main thing is you take that idea. And that's the first thing, to make a decision. But the second thing you got to do is to take action. What does the action look like? If it was lawn care, of course, what it's going to take, you're going to have to first, you don't go to people who don't need their lawn cut and say, well, can I cut your lawn? No, you go to people when it's season. Even right now, it's the transition in the season where, hey, people need their leaves raked. You can start there because that's a need. people are going to have. Your ultimate goal may be lawn care when it's that season again, but right now you can get a simple rate, a $10 rate, and and that's all it's going to take for you to be able to start and go into business. So you have to find the area that person has a problem in, and say, let me go out there and find a way to answer that problem. So even if let's say you get a digital business card, you can go right now on Blink and get your digital business card, put that together, your number and what you do, and boom, you can tell people, hey, I'll be gladly to rake your leaves, cut your lawn, do your nails, whatever it is that you have a desire to do. But you have to first, put down the thought of what you're going to do. Now make sure you can do what you say you're going to do. So
Yes,
if you say you can do some hair or whatever, make sure that you know what you're doing enough to be able to provide that service that you say you're going to provide. And so once you know that, I mean, you could be doing babysitting. It doesn't matter what it is that you have a desire to do, but you just have to get started and then just let others know that you're in business. And so you have to tell people, whether you're in what I call your warm market. Your warm market is people who know you and you know them. So most likely your family going to support you just because you're a family. But then you get to a place where you got a cold market. You may not know who the individuals are, and they may not just trust you off the back. But if you come to them professionally enough, meaning that you got your pants up, you talking not like what up. No, you ain't talking to them like that. You talking to them with some sense. People will say, okay, I like the fact that you came to me in a professional manner, in a respectable way, ma'am, Mr., sir, things like that. Then they're willing to take a chance on you. Let's say my son, he does detailing, washing cars. And so I gave him the same advice over time. Said it really take a bucket, soap, and not that much. But, start getting out here every day, talking to a few people, call your family members first. He come through here and wash my stuff up every so often. But you just start off with knowing what you're going to do, and then just reaching out to others and let them know you're in business to do that. Never diminish what you do either. Don't say I'm doing this little thing. No, don't call your business little. Always speak to it as it is $1 million, a big extravagant thing. I don't care how small it is. I worked at Walmart for 16 years, and one thing I learned from Sam Walton, he always spoke as what it was going to be, not what it was. It didn't start off as Walmart you see it today. But even when it was small, he always spoke the vision of what it should be. Yeah.
Cool. Whoa. There's so many things unwrapping that as well. Woo, people gonna have to they're gonna have to hit rewind on that. Woo, you was dropping some nuggets and lessons in that right there.
Yes.
Man, focus. One that I don't know if the listeners caught. It was like, look, focus on the current problem. Yes, you know what their future problem is, but right now, focus on the current problem that's causing them a headache. Woo. And then once you solve that problem, guess what? They're going to come back and say, oh, I see you raked my leaves. Can you cut my grass next year? Powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
You become that person that's so good you cannot be denied. So I've had clients that even though I was cutting the lawn, they were saying, do you do other services? I get that all the time. And so on my off seasons, I can do the pressure washing. On my off season, then I can do other services, or I can recommend other people. And I bought it off services with them where I get paid for referring work out, because people say, hey, you do such a great work with me on this. Can you do this for me also? And so you want to be so good you cannot be denied.
Wow. What's as we get ready to wrap up, what's one piece of financial advice that you would give to that high school student, right, who's about to graduate? What's one piece of financial advice you'd like to give to them?
I always think of pay yourself first. I heard this first from Robert Kiyosaki. And this is a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. In the book, his philosophy is pay yourself first. If you from the streets, that means you got to re-up. All right. But you got to make sure you got to put money back in what's making you money. You can't go out there and buy the next nice Jordans on your money if you got to re-up. You got to make sure you investing back into what's going to make you money. You got to always make sure you are putting money back towards what's going to help you move forward. And so that starts off small. meaning that you're gonna, if you do lawn care, you putting money back so I can make sure I got gas, I got the next equipment that I need, make sure my stuff stays running. But over time, it means now I can invest into other things, like me investing into my podcasting, me investing into other things such as insurance. So you have infinite bank. You got so many different other avenues you can invest in, but mainly you want to start that process. Whether if you putting $5, $10 back, and then you spending that money towards something that's going to help continue the stream of resources or income that's going to help you to grow.
Wow, wow, wow. That was powerful right there. That's powerful. What do you want our, financial abundance podcast listeners to know about your business, about what you do? What's your final words for them?
Awesome. I'm glad you said, because my ultimate goal again is to empower and inspire individuals to be great. And that means the whole man, not this only the fact of financial. Now, of course, you want to make sure you live in financially sound, but also you want to be spiritually sound. You want to be economically sound. You want to be socially the whole man, because you can be developing one area, but without the others develop, it's still lacking. And so that's what we're here to do. So I want to invite you to check out some of the podcasts, and also on my channel. You can find us at Be Great Podcast. And on those podcasts, you're going to see other individuals similar to what we have here. We have great individuals who have phenomenal stories that has impacted so many lives. And so we want to share through their stories on how they have helped others, how you can also be that same. You can take from there, but also I'm giving jewels, nuggets, and other inspirational word through my personal channel. And this is Stephen Loney on YouTube. And so please check it out. And like I said, again, our goal is to see individuals to be great in leadership. And this is the whole aspect of life. And so if you can, we're going to leave our information here in the chat. So please link in with us. We'd love to do what we can to help you be the best version of yourself and live life as great as you possibly can. That's what we're about.
All right, man. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and share this episode.